Well,
I think we're live.
Don't go pee yet.
Don't tell everybody what I had to do because I'm not ready. You don't tell a guy my age not to go pee. That's the wrong thing to do.
Actually, I tell you, don't break anything.
What? On the way there or on the way back? How you doing? It's Are You Shitting Me, TMI, the podcast. As always, I'm Mike, and in some undisclosed remote location is my younger brother, Ron.
Yeah, I'm in the witness protection program, or maybe that's the witless protection program.
I actually had people ask today, so where is he going? I mean, where is he? I said, I don't know. He swore me to secrecy, told me not to tell anybody where he was.
Well, I'll let everybody off the hook. I mean, right now, I am actually sitting in a little cantina in Old Town San Diego. If you've never been here, it's a fantastic little slice of the earth. But yeah, just spend a little time away from the employees and the business.
All right. Hey, look, there's our cousin already. So there Matt's already feeling he knows the pain. See, I've reached the point, I believe, where I can just piss myself and get away with it
and not care.
That's what I'm thinking, man. It's like hell with it.
Yeah, that age where like I can afford a mop.
Oh, that poor little old man. Just let him be. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so warm. It's so warm.
Stop. I really have to go. All right. So if you're hopping online, let us know you're there. We sure appreciate you being there with us tonight. Again, we're here every Wednesday night, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific. And it's here on Facebook and on YouTube. There was a deal before we went on tonight I got from the company we used to do this with, and they said that our Facebook thing was going to expire, but they always tell us, but don't worry, we got you. And so all I did was click a button, and it says, okay, you're good to go.
Boom.
Don't know what that's all about. I think they just want to make sure
they're just making sure we're still here.
Yeah, they just want to make sure these guys are old, make sure they got this dexterity enough to pull this off. Yeah. So there you go.
So Mike and I were talking off stage, and we had talked earlier in the week, and as he's posting up there now, one of the things was what GoFundMe was as a kid, and shopping then versus shopping now. So yeah, I'm gonna kick it off because the first thing that came to my mind was GoFundMe for me as a kid was going door to door with a snow shovel and seeing if I could shovel your sidewalk in your driveway, or in the spring and summertime, pushing a lawnmower and a tank of gas around the neighborhood to see if I can mow your yard for you. Now, everything, as we've talked before, is instantaneous. Somebody, stubs their big toe. Oh, let's get a GoFundMe account, or for just dumb reasons, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some, extenuating circumstances where, I can understand where that needs to be, but people take it to the umpteenth level, in my opinion.
You see, in my GoFundMe account when we were younger was threatening to kick my little brother's ass if he didn't go shovel somebody's yard and give me a piece of the action. Right. No, he's right. Look, for a long time, I thought Dad was making me. I think I've said this before. Hey, ladies, how are you? I love you both.
I told Mike we're in the witness protection program.
Well, and I'm witness to that program.
So, Dad did say. Sorry. Mike, Dad said what?
I thought Dad used to make me go mow other people's yards or even do their driveway as punishment. I used to think, what the hell did I do wrong? Until I realized people were. Now, here's the other thing. What did we get back then? $5?
If that, yeah.
$5 to mow or whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody come by the house the other day wanting to mow my front yard, just my front yard. And I'm Hank Hill, I do my own shit. So I said, just out of curiosity, what are you going to charge me? He looked around, he said, $25, $30.
Wow.
For $25, $30, I think I'll just do it myself and keep the money in my pocket.
Well, shit, for that, you can go buy a goat.
Well, you might be able to buy a goat. And a goat would be more fun.
I mean, just saying.
Look, I'm all down for the fun look. Goat in the front yard. I'm easy to spot. So where do you live? Look for the goat in the front yard. Yeah, I've been by your house a few times.
Yeah, we've been by.
Other GoFundMes, I was also thinking, we mowed yards, we shoveled snow. I know even well before then, and this is part of what I'm writing about now, that you ever recycle, just go collect pop and beer bottles and turn them into deposits? Do they even still do that anymore?
Glass and aluminum. No, yeah, it's still a thing now. I mean, not as prevalent as it was when we were kids. And I think you get, a little bit more money, but I don't know, man. There's so many other ways nowadays to build wealth or make a little money other than doing that. I mean, hell, you can go donate plasma and make more money.
Well, apparently, if I were a social media influencer, I could be doing everything I used to do in my younger days, and probably not work as hard and still get some money. I am still trying to understand the financial capabilities and revenue generating capabilities of things like TikTok. I'm trying to wrap my mind around that one.
I don't know either. So if anybody's watching, if they understand it, by all means, enlighten these old fuckers, because we have no idea.
How do you make money with it? I'm old, damn it! I can't go mowing yards forever. I think I've shared this one before. I have a friend here who owns an extremely successful landscape business, been around for 100 years. And I've told Billy more than one time, I said, when I was a kid, what I thought was punishment my dad was making me do, if I'd have known then, I could have turned it into a business.
Oh, God. Multi-million-dollar business.
I might have tried harder. But back then, it was just, I need, $10. I guess I'll go see if I can mow a yard.
Well, again, like we talked last week about the whole food thing. So a lot of times it was purely out of necessity. It's the same thing with this. I don't think I really enjoyed going and shoveling snow and mowing yards. It was out of necessity, man. I don't know about you, but I was never given an allowance of any sorts. If you wanted something, you went and worked for it.
I think we got it. Maybe not when we moved to Village 7. I remember getting some kind of an allowance over on Nadine. I had to have because
I was 5.
That's how I got my first record was what Three Dog Night, World is Black, World is White. I remember getting that one. But who was it? Was it the Guess Who? Or I'm trying to think of who did Locomotion, the remake of Little Eva's Locomotion. That was the first record.
Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yeah, I don't think that was it. If you know the answer, you call it number 5 right now.
I may be drinking while we're podcasting, so.
Yeah, well, I remember I may need one of those bottles here in just a minute.
or a catheter.
Shut up. It's not funny at my age.
Dude, you want to talk about $1 million right there. The the podcast catheter.
No.
I will not put my name on that.
I will just go get a funnel and a long tube. I'd be all right. I could be pissing right now and nobody would know, right?
That's what, dude. Who says I'm not?
Who's going to know? Aren't you glad you tuned in for tonight's podcast? And Uncle Ken, if you're watching, boy, howdy, aren't you proud of the kids?
Sorry.
Probably not. Sorry, Uncle Ken. I told him today that today was National Ken Day, and it really is. I mean, and here's the other thing. I didn't know this until today. Ken the doll, not Uncle Ken, because I'm pretty sure he thinks he's a doll, but Ken the doll has a last name.
It does.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? Because until I read it, I thought I had no earthly clue he had
I
a
have
name.
no idea. Enlighten me.
Name. Ken, his last name is Carson. And
I have no idea.
He was introduced at a toy fair in 1961. But yeah, Ken Carson.
I'm not sure if it's so much that I didn't know. I'm not sure if it's that I didn't know or I don't care.
It's all the information we need. See, now you're in a bar. Go win some bar bets.
It's a fine line between I didn't know that and I don't fucking care.
Yeah, right. Well, that actually comes from a thing I do on the radio show that's called Five Things
You
Didn't Know You Needed to Know. Yeah. Anyway. All right, let us know if you're there. Let's go check comments if we got anybody. Carolyn.
Do we got anybody on the line?
So there's my wife who, at last check, was at Walmart.
Yeah, see what I'm talking about right there. She says she'd much rather have a goat too.
Yeah, well, I don't know if she's talking about the front yard or future marriage arrangement.
What was Grandpa's favorite saying?
Maybe she wants to replace the old goat with a new goat.
Do you remember one of Grandpa Shoemaker's favorite sayings, Mike?
He had a number of them.
It's hotter than a 3-peckered billy goat.
There you go. So you had to have that Shoemaker humor.
Or it's colder than a witch's tit in a brass bra.
There you go. Witch's teeth. Oh, now stop.
Grandpa Shoemaker was a whole different character, man.
He was. I was actually doing some research on something a couple of nights ago and came across their website, myronstrattonhome.org, I think is what it is. And they had some great information and some cool pictures. And I said, hey, I wrote to them. I said, I don't know if you're even aware that there used to be a dairy there and that it used to cater to the orphanage and the residents that lived there. And so as a fact, I am blessed that I have some of the belongings that were in that dairy. And to my amazement, they replied to me the next day, here's a link and the pages you can learn about it on. Thank you for checking in with us. Okay.
You're like, so in other words, you guys didn't read a damn thing I said.
Didn't even look, man. It's like, let's just appease this kid. He's probably old and needs to piss. So just send us to placate him, hey, man, and send him up.
Hey, Mike, whatever you do, don't think about running water or a stream.
I'm about to get up. I have no pride. My head is right around the corner. I'll just get up and go, dude. I'm okay with it.
How long is it going to take you? 30 seconds? Ready, go.
No, again, 30 seconds, my ass. It'll take me 30 seconds to get in there and get going.
To get there. You gotta crank that thing up.
30 seconds.
So hey, I know last week I put out the challenge to the Debonair boys about and girls, the Debonair gang, about some pictures, older pictures of back in Debonair in the 70s and 80s. And I see Ken Hall had posted a picture on his Facebook account, and and you talk about just taking you back to us being kids again. I mean, he was maybe, I don't know if Ken's out of Facebook jail yet or not, but he was maybe 17, 18 years old in this picture. And it was that feathered hairdo and just, the bright colored, down jacket that he had. And just like, so I called him, I picked the phone and called him, man. And I was like, dude, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of shit that you see. It's just like instantly takes you back to that day and that time.
Yes, sir. See, I wish the hell we'd have had, these things back in our day. Nobody ever thought about taking pictures, really.
Because damn guys.
You had to go through the whole development stage. It's like, oh God, I got to take the roll and get it developed. Screw that shit.
Well, that kind of is a good segue into your other topic, Mike, was shopping then and now. I mean, you hit it right on the head. Back in the day, you used to have to take your 35 millimeter or your Kodak roll down to get them developed, whether it was at the little photo booth, if you remember those photo mats,
Yeah,
or
photo mat.
to Walgreens or whatever drugstore was doing film back then. And now everything is just you put it on a memory card, you take the picture, and it goes right to whatever social media is holding it, and it reminds you every fucking year this is where you were last year. I don't know about you, but I get pictures now. They're like, this was 14 years ago, 15 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you
I'm trying to
peeing?
keep. I thought no, somebody was sending me a message, but it took me to our Facebook feed, and I thought, oh, good Lord, it's going to start feeding back. So anyway,
Sorry, Mike, we're already live.
In the drive up at Der Wiener Schnitzel. Yes, Der Wiener Schnitzel.
Der Wiener Schnitzel. Matter of fact, it's so funny you mentioned that, Tim. My wife and I were driving by a Wiener Schnitzel today, and she's like, when's the last time you ate at a Wiener Schnitzel? I was like, they're still open?
No, we got one down the street, man.
We just don't. There might be 2 or 3 of them in Vegas. I didn't even know they were still around.
Yeah, we got one down the street here, and I think.
What the hell were they famous for? Was it the chili dog, or was that somewhere else?
Yeah, no, it's their chili dogs.
Is that what it is?
That'd be my guess is chili dogs. Yeah. So no, shopping then and now, and GoFundMe then and now. Shopping. The reason why I threw that out there was I think it's because of the instant gratification.
Hold on, Mike. My waitress is asking me if I'd like another beer.
And
would you like a beer?
Jessica. Hold on, Jessica. Mi amo is Miguel.
Yes, I will have another beer. Mike, would you like a beer? She'll bring it to you in Amarillo. She'll transport it.
Huh?
She'll transport it to you.
Well, thank you very much, Jessica. I appreciate it. Tim, you need something? Tim may be okay over at Casa de Cato.
Hey man, wherever we go, whenever we do our debonair thing, man, we got to get Tim invited and get him on page with that.
Well, yeah, I will tell you, Tim would have made a great member of the debonair gang. In fact, I will we'll just name you an official member of the debonair gang.
Hold on, wait a minute. Here.
There you go. You're being Sir Knighted. There you go. And when
I christened the Sir Cato.
When Jessica comes back, she'll have to. I was going to be ugly, and I'm not going to.
Yeah, let's moving on.
Sorry, Jessica. All right. So yeah, shopping then.
Shopping then and now.
Here's one for you. Okay, and I'm sorry to keep bringing up books, but the book I'm writing now has to do with pity and prosperity, and I was at a point where we were talking about the Southgate Shopping Center, and where Sears was. It's where Home Depot is now. People may not remember there was a Sears that used to sit there, and somebody. I mean, I wrote on this post. I said, hey, how ironic. I'm writing something that's mentioning the shopping center. And it's such a beautiful thing because I bet 20 people have since jumped on and said, man, I remember this. I remember this.
No, absolutely.
But somebody mentioned, they said, hey, do you remember going to Sears and getting jeans because Sears actually guaranteed their jeans? If your kid could wear those jeans out, and I can't remember what the time was, but they wore the jeans. You brought them back, and they'd get you a new pair.
Was Sears the one that had the Rustler jeans?
Well, I think that was the Tough Skins.
Tough Skins. That's what it was. Yes.
Isn't that what they had? So I was talking to a guy at work today, and I said, hey, Chuck, do you remember shopping at Sears? And he said, oh, yeah, we went there. And I said, well, good for you. We couldn't afford to, but
you rich son of a bitch.
Yeah, you rich people. You haven't lived until you got into Goodwill. And clothes there. Now you're styling, baby. But I said, Chuck, do you remember them guaranteeing the jeans? And he said, oh God, yeah. He said, I remember getting jeans there, and if you wore them out, you take them back, they give you a new pair. Can you imagine doing that today? Now
No,
you buy
hell
jeans
no.
that are pre-worn out for you. I mean,
Oh, so they come with holes in them before you buy the
they
damn
already have
things.
holes in them. God, corn dogs for Abby. I'm having
Jameson and
Jameson.
ginger ale. How do you spell bubble gut?
I'm telling you, Tim can hang with us. He's an honorary member of the. I tell you,
Tim,
who
are you a karaoke cat, Tim? Can you hang with us on a karaoke bar?
now see, there's a good question, and because Ron and I and some of the other gang, we love to karaoke when
Dude,
we're.
I will tell you, Mike, and you and I have talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it live yet, but at that time that we were there in Colorado, you know, I'm there with my leg propped up in a bag of ice at O'Furry's, and Chad and Ken got up.
Right?
And what the hell song was that? What
Seven Bridges Road.
Thank you, dude. When they started singing that, I had chills run down my spine. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I want to stand up and get my lighter lit.
No, right?
Like, fuck me.
I was going, holy shit, these guys are good. And I mean, the entire it was at Thunder and Buttons is where we were.
Oh, dude, it was a Thunder and Buttons. Yeah,
yeah.
Where it was, dude? It was just it was flipping awesome, man.
As soon as they got started, because you know the way the song starts, there's no.
Oh yeah,
the
harmony. It's the harmony intro.
I stopped. Everybody stopped what they were doing because it sounded like the freaking Eagles were about ready to do a concert. But
oh man, it was awesome.
So yeah, Cato, you're gonna have to be able to. You don't have to do Seven Bridges Road. Ronnie and I sing a little bit of everything, and you
can do a little row your boat.
The drunker we get, the better we are. I mean, I will go on. I'll go full on Al Green for you.
The drinker I drunk, the better I sing.
Baby, I'm telling you.
So we were talking about Bruce Springsteen. There you go. So we were talking about shopping then and now, and I know everybody knows Amazon, but how many of you younger folk know where Amazon actually got its start and what it was before it became the, sorry for the pun, the Goliath that it is today? Does anybody remember?
That's a good point. That's a good question. I'd be curious to see if anybody knows that answer.
Yeah, because Amazon now is not what Amazon started as, and like I said, a lot of the younger folks just don't know that. They just think it's a place I go to buy all my stuff.
And if it's not here in 2 days, I'm pissed off. No, it's not even 2 days, man. It's we actually have one here. I mean, we have a distribution center. So I guess if you have one near you, you can actually order something one day and have it the next. That's how quick this works.
No, dude, we have 2 of them in Vegas now, and I will purposely go through and find stuff that I get the same day. That's how impatient I am. Yeah. You know, God forbid I go down to Home Depot or Lowe's, you know, because I don't want to leave my house half the time. I will wait for it to come here. Yeah, well, Kindle was part of it, yeah, but it started off even smaller than that.
Yeah.
But you're on the right track, Matt.
Pretty impressed. That's our cousin Matt. I'm pretty. Of course, he's old like you are.
No. I'm 2 months older.
I feel the same way about Steve Mann. You know, we go through this spell of where I think he's like 3 years older than me for like a few months, because I think his birthday is in August or September. So from that period until March, I believe Steve is 3 years older than I am until my birthday, and then we're back to 2. So there you go. More things you didn't know you needed to know. God bless me. I'm glad I'm here.
So Mike, enlighten us. Do you know what Amazon started off as originally?
I want you to enlighten us so I don't look like an idiot.
Amazon was a small bookstore is what they started off as. And then they went into selling a small amount of books online. And then they got into doing the electronic books, Kindles and stuff like that. And then after that, it just took off. And now you can buy, they literally have houses that you can buy on Amazon now. It was the weirdest thing. Tires for your cars. It's crazy. And now you can buy literally anything.
Would you actually buy a house?
No, I would not. But you know what it is? It's one of those tiny houses.
Oh, okay, one of those little ones.
Yeah. I mean, I could build one for half of that.
I have one for now. Cato probably has heard this already, because I know he also listens to the radio show. But I came across the story yesterday, and I think it's out of North Carolina, where a company has partnered with the water department, and they are making brewing beer with recycled reclamation water.
You better be kidding me.
And they're calling it Renew Brew. And I shit you not, man.
Yeah, no pun intended.
My question is now here's the funny thing is yesterday I said, according to the report, they filter it, check it for 150 different, microbes or whatever. And I'm thinking, okay, but what if there's like 5,000 in there? You're checking for 150. So the question then becomes, if somebody came up to you and said, hey, try this beer, and you tried it and then found out it was reclamated water from the sewer plant, would you, I have no interest in this stuff.
Would you tell him that the beer tasted like shit?
I like beer.
I don't care how much you filter that or how much you tell me. There's not a snowball's chance in hell I would ever drink it.
No.
Isn't that Coors Light?
Right?
That's close. That's close, Matt. That's close.
That's pretty good, Tim.
Tim, yeah.
You would think, being from Colorado, we'd be Coors guy. Are you a Coors guy, bro?
No, I'm not. I'll tell you what, man. Back when I lived in Colorado, and this was, 30 plus years ago. Matter of fact, this is when the drinking age was still 18. Let's put it that way. We rolled the silver bullet, but then I grew out of that and I started drinking real beer.
Being in Colorado, people think two things. Well, you guys must be Coors drinkers, and y'all must be skiers. No to both.
Yeah, the two don't really go well together.
Well, maybe one would make the other more fun.
True. Yes, Matt, I agree. Now I do. I will agree with that. I do now, mostly because I'm not supposed to drink at all. But I told my doctor, I'm like, dude, if you're going to tell me not drink, let's just fight right now and get it over with.
Well, that brings me to the next story. Then it's funny because we got off kind of off base. We were talking about GoFundMe back in the day. Well, the other one was I had to call Kenny Hall and say, hey, dude, was it you and I that used to dumpster dive for aluminum cans? And he said, oh, God, yeah. Don't you remember? There was one night, it's either late one night or really early one morning, and there was an apartment complex above where we lived in the village, and they called it, first of all, I think it's a stupid fucking name for an apartment complex, but Kenny and I were there, and we were dumpster diving for aluminum cans because Kenny turned me on to, hey, look, if we get enough of these, we can turn them in for money. So we're in there, and this guy comes to one of the apartment doors and just starts yelling at us. Hey, you guys are making way too much noise. And so I told Ronnie before the podcast tonight, I said, back in those days, and I'm sure you and Matt and everybody else were the same way. Nothing makes us want to make more noise and to be
being told not to.
Then you come into the door telling us to stop because we're making too much noise. Okay. How about I just start beating the shit out of this dumpster and see if I can dig it out? So
absolutely.
Absolutely. I had to ask Kenny. I said, do you remember where we took them? Ken has a great memory, despite the weed. He has a great memory. And so he said, yeah, there was a little place down on Union, just south of Denver Warehouse, which we have great familiarity with. And they said we would take them there, and that's where we'd turn them in and get our money. So
that's funny.
Back in the day, GoFundMe, you had to work for that shit. It's you had to get creative. Hell, even before Ronnie was around, we were living in California. I remember, and you'll remember some of these names: Marty and Leonard, and we were all little kids at the time. But I had a shoe shine box, and there was a
Get out
bar.
of here.
No, I'm dead serious, dude. And there was a old, hole in the wall bar down the street from where we were, and we're like 7, 8 years old. So we go in there, and we understood if we would just touch those guys' shoes because it's so dark and they were wasted.
They'd have no idea.
We just, touch the shoes for a minute or two. They give us our buck or whatever. We're out of there. So yeah, we.
Well, I will tell you, Mike. I remember, and I'm sure you do too. And Matt, I know you remember this as well because you were involved in this a lot. But Dad's GoFundMe and side hustle, and we talked about it, was going out and cutting cords of wood up in Woodland Park. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, it was. For those of you that don't know what a cord of wood is, it's equivalent to about a truck bed full of wood. And we would go and cut 4, 5, 6 cord of wood. And we would sell all of it except for maybe 1 or 2. And that's how Dad made side money in the wintertime.
Well, and Dad also had the assistance of he had a great wood splitter.
Yeah. We call him Two Thumbs Theo.
Well, that was the you can't really see it, but yeah, that's the one I tried to cut off. And that was with remember
who were those guys?
The family down the street. Kenny, you need to help us.
Yeah, what was their name? They're the big boys down the corner on the left.
Yeah.
Weiss.
Jim Weiss. You're being kind. I was going to call them that guys. No, Jim Weiss lived behind us. These guys,
fat guys, big guys, whatever.
Yeah. So that's I was down there helping them one day, and they actually did have a hydraulic wood splitter. That's how I did this one. But no,
that's funny.
Dad would go up there, cut all that wood, bring it home. It was whole logs. We had to take it out, dump it on the ground, and one of us had to get busy chopping that crap up. All right, man. 31
All
after.
right, guys. So, hey, I want to still throw back out the challenge to the guys and girls from the neighborhood. Let's get this put together. I don't care if it's just the guys or the girls or whoever, but let's get the chain going. You contact them, and they contact them, and they contact them. And I did reach out to Sybil Lasha today. So, Sybil, I don't know if you're watching or not, but I did give you the link on where to watch. You and Chad need to jump on board with this as well because we would love to have your guys' input.
Absolutely. Make it so, yo. Enjoy where you're at, little brother.
All right, guys. Love you so much. Thanks for being on, and we will see you guys next week.
Next week.